just there to get what he wanted. Hit it and quit it, and he might stay a year or two, but girl,
openly expressive truth, sharing all that we've been through.
Hey y'all, so let's get into the episode of Openly Expressive. I'm your host, Naisha. Today's topic will be about daddy issues, narcissism, and people pleasing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about people pleasing. You could never. What? Okay? It doesn't matter what you do. You could bend over backwards and they'll tell you, oh, you didn't bend back further enough. You still have a spine. Jump. How high? You jump? Oh, sorry. You should have had a trampoline. Not good enough. Sorry. It doesn't matter what you do for these people. It will never satisfy them because internally they are unhappy with themselves, and they look for others to make them happy by their demands, their wants, their desires, whatever, and it doesn't matter. They'll go absolutely crazy just to please someone that is ultimately unpleasable. Stop trying to please someone who doesn't even know how to please themselves. These are people who need therapy. When they were children, they didn't get what they needed and desired and, wanted, just all of these things. They didn't get it. So when they become an adult and they're able to be in charge of their lives, they select people that will cater to their wants, needs, and desires. It doesn't matter what the relationship is with that person. You could be a spouse and the respect will never be there. The love will never be there the way it should be. It's because it's a constant need for you to admire them, for you to bow down to them, for you to cater to them and, be at their beck and call because they weren't able to get the things they needed and wanted when they were a child. So now that they are of age to be in control in some sorts, they control everyone around them, aka narcissist. Have you ever dated one? I did. The person that I just parted ways with, they are definitely one. And it's just like, no matter what you do, you can't please them. Like, I was with a person for almost 4 years, and it's like I was loving the person. I swear I was trying to love them the best of my ability. And no matter what I did, I was always criticized. Everything I did. You're not loving me properly. You're not calling me enough. You're not giving me attention. It's like, okay, so you're giving me your list of demands of what you want me to do, tweak, and change. And I do so, but it was never good enough. To the point I was losing me. You lose sleep because you're trying to figure out, how can I please the person? How can I make them love me? How can I do this better? Honey, it's unhealthy. So although that demise of that relationship hurt, it's actually helpful because I was just never good enough to them, in their opinion. In actuality, I'm good enough. But sometimes people make you feel less than because, like I said, no matter what you do, it's no pleasing them. And all of that stems from like childhood traumas because you develop trauma bonds with people. So say, for instance, you meet a man who had a childhood of neglect. He didn't have a dad. His mom wasn't loving him the way that she was supposed to, and vice versa. So, you gravitate toward that person because there's a commonality. Both of you hadn't had an adequate childhood of love and care. So you bond over that initially. And then there's a person in a relationship, as I was, in a healing process. So that's kind of difficult to be in a healing process with someone and they're just not healing. So you are being tugged in the direction of positivity, but they are still living in their negative mindset. So that just doesn't work because the trauma bond is being broken, and that's all that you had in common was the negative side. So it's like, no matter how much I try to turn into a better person, try to stop cussing, try to stop being disrespectful because I was reciprocating the disrespect. Try to love harder because the person was complaining that I wasn't giving them enough attention. Of course, they're narcissists, and narcissists desire attention all day and every day, honey. Everything has to be about them, especially the overt narcissist, because there's overt and covert. The covert is more of a subtle narcissist. You don't really see it coming, but that overt narcissist, honey, you see it at every turn. Every turn. The manipulation, the gaslighting, the victim playing. You can't please them at all, honey. And you're just like, damn, no matter what I do, I love this person. Shit, I'm loving them more than I love myself, it seemed like. And they're like, oh well, do better. You're going mentally insane trying to please someone. It's never good enough. Just stop. They'll get the person who loves them more than they love themselves. They'll get the person who also had childhood traumas to where nothing that they did ever satisfied their parents. So now they cling to mates who they want to cater to because they just want to be accepted, loved, and liked. You find yourself doing everything in your power to please them when you're just doing a disservice to yourself. And it's like when you deal with a narcissist, you just want to be loved loved by the person. And they're incapable of loving someone, at least in a healthy manner. I'm sitting here mentally drained because it's like, damn, another one bites the dust. I've been with a person who is not healed. So I asked them, do you think that in this relationship you've done everything that you could have possibly done to make things run smoothly? And if not, what do you think that you could have done to make things better? Because I know that I haven't, and I have things that I could say that I could have done better. But they don't want to hear that. So they go, well, probably not. You don't think that you could have done something better or differently? You don't think that you having your child mother sleep in your bed and you're not supposed to be together and you betraying me and my trust and everything else, and then when you claim I have trust issues, I'm insecure? Or you're making a big deal out of it, you always do this, da da da. I always do what? I make my feelings be known. And to the point they wanted me to apologize. And I found myself apologizing just a tad bit, like, oh, I'm sorry if I did this, did it. And it's just like, girl, what the hell were you thinking? You apologizing for expressing yourself and feeling inadequate, feeling less than, feeling neglected, feeling unloved and unwanted. You're apologizing, feeling disrespected, and you're apologizing. It hurts a lot when you try to give your all to someone and it's just never good enough for them. What the narcissist does when they're dissatisfied with whatever service you are providing for them, whether it's stroking their ego, loving them too hard, whatever it is, anything to try to please them, it's a service to them. They don't look at it as an act of kindness or a term of endearment. It's a service to them because you are a peasant and you are serving the king or queen. You sit back sometimes and you be like, damn, is it me? Am I not doing all that I can do? And when you don't please them, they'll shut you completely down. Like that silent treatment, that hurts. No matter how much you try to love them, whatever, it's just not being reciprocated. And you know, when you are a child and you don't get that love and adequate attention, you seek it elsewhere because that daddy issue shit is real. I have daddy issues. I've attracted people, past tense, who are ultimately going to leave. A lot of us suffer from it and don't realize it. So, you know, for instance, we gravitate towards certain partners and we keep asking ourselves, like, why the hell do I keep attracting the same type of person? Well, you know why? Because you have childhood trauma. You have daddy issues, quite possibly. So for a woman, if, you know, she has a daddy issue because her daddy left, ultimately she's going to pick a person who is going to leave, either involuntarily or voluntarily. Voluntarily, he's just gonna, you know, be like, I'm up out of here. I don't want a relationship. I never did. I just want to out of here. I don't really care about your feelings and disregard the hell out of you. That's voluntarily. But the involuntary leaving is when, you know, they just keep messing up to the point you get tired and you leave. So oftentimes women who attract men who are like her father who left, this is the reason why, because that's all we know. All we know is a man who's going to leave. And for men who have daddy issues, he doesn't know how to properly love a female because he never saw an example of that. So of course he's going to be a womanizer because he was raised by his friends or his uncles, distant relatives or whatever, but it was never like the love and being raised from a dad. So he never saw his dad treat his mom like a queen. He never saw his dad pull out the chair for the mom and take her on dates and buy her gifts and treat her with extravagant things and trips and all this other stuff. He never saw her being catered to on Valentine's Day and anniversaries and being respected and, you know, him being the breadwinner. He never saw that because his dad wasn't that. So all he is maneuvering this thing called life in a fucked up manner because he didn't have any guidance and direction. So of course he's going to have a plethora of women because he never had example of a man showing him, hey son, you know, this whole one woman thing, this is where it is. But instead he had a bunch of friends. Hey man, you got one woman, you whipped. You know, come on, you soft. What's wrong with you? A man has more than one woman. Men cheat, blah blah blah. So he was never given a healthy example on how to treat a woman. And it goes back to a woman without a dad. So a woman without a dad, she's going to continuously get in these ain't shit ass dudes because ultimately she just wants a man to love her because she never got the blueprint from her dad, and her dad say, this is how a man's supposed to love you. He's supposed to pull out your chair. He's supposed to shower you with gifts. He's supposed to respect you and love you, things like that. So she never had any of those things. So of course, when she gets a man who shows her a little bit of attention, she's like, oh my gosh, he loves me so because he's here for me. Be like, no girl, he just did to get what he wanted, hit it and quit it, and he might stay a year or two, but girl, he don't want to be with you. You think it's about to be a happily ever after, and then the gag be like, you actually feel it's going to be a happily ever after because he decided to marry you out of the pressure from you. It wasn't because he said, oh, I love her, I'm head over heels, let me do her right, let me marry her. It was, oh, I feel that she's nearing the exit, I'll make it better. An entrapment, I'll get her pregnant. She really can't go nowhere, she'll be in my life forever. Even with me, my oldest child father and I have not been together for so many years, but yet I'm still a factor in his life. And it's like, my friend, you didn't let go yet? I'm confused. Why am I always a factor in your conversation? And it's been over a decade we haven't been together, but that just goes to show that the sick tie and bond that these certain people have in their lives, that they'll even go as deep as making a baby just to keep a person in their life. And they don't give a damn about them. They don't care if they're about to make you a single parent. They don't care if you're about to have hardship because you're a single parent. They don't care if you were pregnant and you had a miscarriage, or you were pregnant and you went to take care of that situation because you felt that you couldn't be a single mom. They don't care about the torment that you are still going to face every day, possibly thinking about that decision that you made to not have that child. They don't care about that. We deal with a lot of selfish individuals because of our childhood. We have to work on that, because as long as we don't heal our unaddressed childhood traumas, we're going to be screwed. We're going to keep getting the same type of individuals. We're going to keep attracting the mentally broken. We're going to keep being broken ourselves, which is ultimately going to just continue to be a destruction in our own lives. And a lot of times we sit there and blame others, like, why me? Why did they do this? No, we got to ask ourselves sometimes, why am I doing this to myself? What do I need to heal inside of me to make me a better person, so therefore I will attract better? Because quite frankly, we only attract who we are at that moment, not who we are, period, because we can all change. Some people just don't want to. They're stuck in their ways. A lot of people don't even think that they do need change. A lot of people don't even think that they do need therapy because they think that there's nothing wrong with them. They blame their everything in their life on someone else. You have to kind of take accountability for the shit that you start too. Because when are we going to start taking accountability for decisions that we've made as adults? Yes, we have daddy issues. Yes, we have mommy issues. Yes, we have childhood traumas and things like that. But it comes a time in your life where you should be like, damn, my life is not going the way that I needed to go or I wanted to go. What am I doing wrong, or what type of people am I allowing in my life to make my life continuously be in shambles like this? So me, I put myself in therapy. When am I going to be healed enough to realize you got to break the cycle, honey? You can't keep attracting these same type of individuals, because a lot of the times we are fooled by someone because they send in their representative. Don't be fooled by that representative, honey, because a lot of times when we meet somebody, that's who we are meeting. We don't always initially meet the actual them, the person who has on the suit, the tie, you know, the top hat, the briefcase, the money, the this, the that. That's the representative, honey. You'll be fooled by that. And when you get to know them, especially when you give them some, honey, oh boy, the real them comes out. They go to Tim's, they go to hoodie, they go to jeans, they go to sneakers, they go to whatever it is. You be like, hold on, my friend. I thought you came in here with a suit and tie on. What? When did you usher in the fitted cap? When did you usher in the gold teeth? Hold on, because this is not the prestige person that I have met. So be careful who you give yourself to, because that representative will get you every single time. Like, you even avoid red flags because it's like, oh my gosh, I love this person. Look at their persona. They're everything that I'm looking for. Yeah, right. It was a facade, honey. We are fooled by the facade many times to the point that we ignore the hell out of red flags. And you're like, it's not red, it's fuchsia, it's burgundy, it's dark pink. Honey, it is red. A red flag is a red flag. I don't give a damn what tone of the red it is. It's a red flag, and run. Be careful. Just, guard your heart, guard your mind. Once any type of negativity seeps inside of it, it doesn't matter how much therapy, whatever you get, it's always gonna stay. So when they be like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, y'all lie. Because guess what? Those sticks and stones that broke your bones, they will heal eventually. That wound will heal. That bone will mend itself back together, okay? With proper care and time. But the damage that is done to a person when someone hurts you to the core, that hurts. That's an unrepairable damage. Don't let someone's negativity get into you like a virus. Once that virus is there, it spreads. And if you don't get the adequate help and attention that you need, you'll continuously attract people that will administer viruses to you until ultimately it will be your demise. So my friends, heal you first before you entertain anybody else, because remember, hurt people, and we don't need any more hurt people. Later, babies.
Subscribe, like, comment, and share.